Adriana, why are you at Dad's funeral?
Huh? What do you mean why I'm at his funeral? Weren't all of Dad's relatives invited to come?
Stop pretending like he was your dad, Adriana. You're pretending like you were his family during yesterday's wake, too. Do you know how annoyed I was at seeing you?
But I'm his daughter, so I wanted to say farewell to him as well.
Huh? It seems like you have some sort of misunderstanding, but it's extremely rude to sit with his family when you're just an adopted child.
What? I know I was only adopted, but he raised me like his own daughter ever since I was a young child. I don't even remember who my real parents were.
It doesn't matter whether he raised you or not when you're not actually related to him by blood. You're not related to me either. I call you my sister just for convenience, but I don't really think you're my sister, alright? You're always just fucking Adriana in my mind. But I'm the daughter of a CEO, so I can't say such things out loud, right? I feel as if I'm being punished whenever I have to call you my sister, but it can't be helped.
Philia, why were you always this mean to me?
Why shouldn't I be mean to you? Even though you weren't even Dad's real child, he always treated you better than me, his actual daughter, for some goddamn reason. But just because I call you my sister doesn't mean you can pretend to be his daughter at his funeral. Dad was always nice to you, but I'm not going to be the same. I'm his real daughter, not you. You're basically just a stranger to him, you know?
I'm sorry. I didn't know you felt like that all this time. I guess it must have been difficult seeing your father treat us differently. But still, what you're saying is just going too far. Just because I wasn't related to him by blood doesn't mean that we couldn't have had a meaningful relationship as father and daughter.
Shut it. Just leave the funeral right now. I don't want to hear any of your excuses. Ugh, I always hated how you were like this. Every time I get mad at you, you always pretend like you did nothing wrong and I'm the bad guy. For once, could you just admit you were wrong?
Adriana, are you alright?
Oh, hi, Irvis. It's fine. I just got a little bit wet. It's not like she hurt me or anything.
Someone saw Phila dumping a bucket of water on you and told me about it. Where are you right now?
I'm at the rental clothes store near the funeral.
Oh, so you rented morning clothes to go to the funeral?
Yep. Someone from the shop saw that Philia dumped a bucket of water on me and brought me here.
I'm glad things seem to be alright. They're gonna give you new clothes, right?
Yeah, thankfully the owner's a kind person. I also thought of borrowing a wig and some glasses.
What? For what would you need a wig and glasses for?
To disguise myself. So I could sit with the rest of the relatives without being noticed.
What? You don't have to hide like that, Adriana. You did nothing wrong. He's your father.
But...
I'll sit next to you the whole time and prevent anyone from doing anything strange.
What? You'll do that for me?
You're my fiancé. I already got permission to sit with your relatives, so it's not gonna be a problem. Even Phila will have no choice but to behave if she's in front of a crowd of people. Don't worry about it. Return to the funeral and say goodbye to your father. Even though you weren't related to him by blood, you were probably closer to him than anyone else in that funeral. Even Phila.
Irvis, I wouldn't know what I would do without you. Thank you. I'll return as soon as I change.
What is your problem? Why is Irvis standing watch next to you the whole time?
Hello, Philia. I know you were mad at me, but dumping a bucket of water on my head like that was rude. I would have been glad to settle our differences, but you didn't want to talk to me.
This again. I hate how you always make me seem like the bad guy. You don't seem to understand yet. You're not supposed to be at this funeral. Also, Irvis is supposed to be my fiancé, not yours.
Huh? What does Irvis have to do with this? And what do you mean he's supposed to be your fiancé?
I mean, shouldn't a person who's going to inherit father's company marry the CEO's only daughter? Mom said that as well. And besides, he's too good for you anyways.
Are you trying to say that it's already decided that Irvis is going to be the next CEO? Where'd you get that information?
I mean, isn't it obvious? For some unknown reason, he's engaged to you, who isn't actually related to father, but it was supposed to be me, you know? This is a good opportunity, so I'll be taking Irvis from you, okay?
That has nothing to do with whether Irvis is going to be the next CEO. What you're saying doesn't make any sense, Philia.
You're so frustrating to talk to. You're going to leave this funeral and Irvis is going to be mine, period. Oh, I almost forgot. There's something Mom wants to tell you. Don't think that a stranger has a right to receive an inheritance, she said.
Sorry, but I'm not going to leave the funeral, and I'm not going to give you Irvis as well. And what's that about the inheritance? Is she telling me to let go of my portion of the inheritance when he was my father as well?
Fine, stay at the funeral if you want. Just know that you aren't welcomed here. Oh, and as for Irvis, I'll take care of him myself later. And yes, that's what Mom is saying. I agree with her, by the way. Why should a complete stranger inherit stuff from my dad, who was a CEO? He probably has a fortune waiting for me.
I don't think this is something we should be talking about the day of the funeral. It's impolite. Dad's will is going to be released by a lawyer after the memorial service takes place, right? The company can't just wait until it's released. So it seems that they're holding meetings to decide who the next CEO is going to be. So I think it's best not to say or do anything stupid for now.
I didn't quite get what you said, but I'm going to take Irvis from you, all right? Irvis himself will probably choose me, the CEO's real daughter, over a complete stranger like you, if he's going to go after the position of CEO.
Well, I guess we are just strangers to each other. I can understand why you don't like me, but it's not an excuse to treat me the way you're currently treating me.
Finally, you understand. It's fine with me, whatever you think, as long as you get out of my life. Looks like you messed up, Adriana. Irvis, the next CEO of Dad's company, is going to be mine now. Too bad, I guess.
But it was already decided before Dad passed away that Irvis wouldn't be the next CEO.
Huh? What are you talking about? What do you mean he's not going to be the next CEO? Hi, Irvis. I'm your new fiancé from now on, so I hope we can get along.
Huh? What are you talking about, Filler? My fiancé isn't you, but Adriana, your sister?
Oh, that's been canceled.
Huh? Canceled? What do you mean?
Dad messed up a bit, so you for some reason got engaged to Adriana, but in reality, you're supposed to marry me, not her. Which is why I'm gonna fix things now that Dad is gone.
My marriage with Adriana has nothing to do with the company's interest, though.
But just a little bit longer and I'll get my hands on Dad's inheritance. If you don't marry me, then the position of CEO is gonna be harder to obtain, you know?
I don't quite follow.
What?
It doesn't matter what you say, my fiancée is Adriana. I have no intention of getting married to any other woman. Goodbye.
What's the meaning of this? Why are you the next CEO? This has got to be some sort of mistake. What dirty trick did you use to make this happen?
Philia, it looks like you're misunderstanding.
What? How am I misunderstanding?
I'll try to explain to you what happened, alright?
Fine, explain it then.
Well, we first need to talk about why your father adopted me.
It's because Mom and Dad couldn't quite bear a child, right? But I was miraculously born after they adopted you.
It's true that they couldn't bear a child before they adopted me, but everything else is wrong.
Huh?
They didn't tell me how much you knew, but it seems that I'm Dad's biological nephew.
What? His nephew?
Yes, I'm his sister's daughter. His sister and her husband, meaning my real parents, suddenly passed away after getting into an accident. So your father took custody of me and adopted me as his daughter. That's what I heard.
Oh, is that so? So does that mean we're cousins?
Yes. About the next CEO of the company then. Dad's company evaluates people entirely on their skill. It's just a coincidence that the next CEO, me, also happened to be related to the previous CEO. I was one of the employees who were chosen as candidates for the next CEO. And luckily, they noticed my hard work and chose me.
So what about Irvis?
I've been going out with him since I was in the second year of high school. I'm only marrying him because I want to. It has nothing to do with the company.
No way, but I heard that he was competent at his job. He was at least chosen as one of the candidates for the next CEO, right?
I didn't know you had that wrong as well. Irvis isn't even an employee at our company. Where did you even get that information?
Seriously? But I always thought that Dad had brought the two of you together since he was planning to make Irvis the next CEO.
What? You read way too many short stories, Philia. Well, do you understand the situation now? There's a lot of things I need to learn if I'm going to be the next CEO, so I'm quite busy. Bye.
This can't be true. This is completely different to what I thought was happening. Why did I get everything so wrong? Why? Why is Dad's will like this? You inherit all of Dad's property, and me and Mom just get a few gifts.
It's just as the will says. Apparently you're Dad's child legally, but your father was actually a different man, and you were only born because Mom cheated on Dad. I was surprised when I saw this on the will, too. It looks like Dad even has proof that you aren't his real daughter, so there can't be a mistake.
What?
I'm sure Dad was conflicted by this fact all this time. He probably could have divorced Mom whenever he wanted to with the proof that she cheated on him. He could have even threw you away with her since you weren't his actual child.
Huh? So after all this time, you were the one who's related to Dad and not me? Why didn't he tell me about this sooner?
Dad wasn't the type of person to discriminate between us just because of the conditions surrounding our birth. He probably didn't tell us to keep the family safe. Maybe he knew that he and Mother would have gotten divorced. This proves that he did in fact care for you as well, Philia. Because if he hadn't, he would have just left the family fall apart and leave you and your mother to your own devices. You were just too blinded by jealousy to see that he cared for you as much as he did as me. I think what's written on his will is his final decision after years of inner torment, so I'm gonna do as Dad's will says. Goodbye for now, Philia. I hope that one day we can come to terms with each other and be the siblings that we always were.
But if he cared for me as much as he cared for you, then why did he give you more inheritance? I want that money as well. It wasn't supposed to be like this. I was supposed to get rich after Dad died. Irvis, marry me instead of Adriana.
Huh? Phila? What in the world are you talking about? Why should I marry you?
You see, I was such an unlucky child all this time.
Oh, you mean how you ruined your father's actual child? I guess it's a bit ironic how you kicked Adriana out of her father's funeral because she wasn't actually related to him, when in reality, you were the one who wasn't related to your father, and she was.
Yes, I never wanted this to happen. And I can't even receive an inheritance because of Adriana.
What does Adriana have to do with this? Your father simply gave Adriana more money than you and your mother, simply because he thought Adriana would make better use of it, I think. I doubt he was petty enough to give Adriana more money just because he liked her more. It simply isn't good parenting. You and your mother are housewives without a job, right? But Adriana has a promising career. In fact, she's now the CEO of her father's company. And so that's probably why he gave her the money.
But if Adriana never existed, then at least I would have been Dad's only legal child, and me and Mom would have been able to receive an inheritance. Isn't that so?
Philia, do you realize that you're being extremely rude to Adriana?
What? Who cares if I was being a bit rude? I was only telling her the truth. She was trying to lay claim to Dad's inheritance even though she was just a stranger to him. That's why I told her to get out of my sight.
It's true that the business of inheritances can be delayed, and people need to handle them logically. But after your father died, while everyone else was quietly mourning your dad with whatever thoughts they might have had for him, the sight of you and your mother looking so excited for the inheritance was disturbing, simply put. I'm not surprised your dad chose to give his inheritance mainly to Adriana. With that personality of yours, I'm actually surprised he didn't divorce your mother and let go of you sooner. It just goes to show how kind of a man he was.
It's not like that. Dad always treated Adriana better than me, and now I know why. It's because I wasn't actually his real child, and Adriana was his nephew all along. And I never intended for it to seem like I wasn't sad about my dad's death and only cared about the inheritance, Irvis. I was sad about Dad's death just like everyone else. You just didn't notice it. And what do you mean, that personality of yours? I'm a much better person than Adriana. She just pretends to be the saint when in reality, she just does it to make people like her. And me and Mom are the only person who realize it.
I knew that's what she would say. It's not like your dad ever told me anything, but I don't think that he treated Adriana better than you simply because you were the child of another man. And Adriana was his nephew, Adriana's father was the kind of person that judged someone entirely on who they are as a person. You can see it in how he runs his company, where employees are evaluated entirely on their scale, right? This means that your father was more fond of Adriana than you simply because he liked her better as a person. Although I will admit that a father treating their children with different levels of love is a bit unfair, and I'll forgive you a little bit for that. But saying that you never intended for it to seem like you weren't sad about your dad's death and that you only cared about the inheritance is actually just as bad as saying that you did intend for it to look like that. Because now you're just someone that has no regard for manners and what other people think.
Irvis, don't say things like that. It wasn't my fault that I wasn't actually my father's child and that Adriana was his niece. I didn't ask for any of this to happen. Please, I have no one else to depend on. Why don't you want to marry me?
I feel bad for your situation, but sorry, I'm not going to marry you no matter how much I pity you. Because I love Adriana and no other woman. Goodbye, Philia. I hope that you someday find happiness of your own.
Dad was the owner of the house Philia and her mother lived in, but it was now my house after the inheritance. It seems the two were too proud to live in a house owned by me, so they used a little money they received as a gift from Dad to find an apartment. Actually, the gift money they received was only little compared to the rest of the inheritance, but it was still quite a large sum of money. But for some reason, the two of them decided that these were the funds they needed to start gambling, even though they needed that money to get by until they could start providing for themselves. Even though they intended to earn some easy money by winning, they eventually lost all of it. Now the two of them support themselves by working at a job that comes with housing. But since the two of them have never worked a day in their lives, they frequently make mistakes and get scolded by the other employees. The two now live in poverty and constantly have fights, it seems. Me and Irvis, on the other hand, got married a few months after the memorial service took place, which is also when I started to be more comfortable with my new position as the CEO. We decided to find a new house as a way of putting the past behind and starting anew. And I decided to sell the house I inherited from Dad. I kind of feel bad for Philia. After all, she thought that she was her dad's real child her whole life. But to be honest, I don't think Dad was the kind of person to judge a person based on something like that. So I also feel that what happened to her was ultimately her own doing.
Hey! You're Lily, right? You can call me Judith, but I'm sure you already know about me, right? I happen to be your husband's previous wife. Are you surprised to be hearing from me of all people? I'm sure you are right now. Hello? Well, whatever. I'm sure that this is your number and that you are getting all these texts right now. Well, listen here. I happen to have a request for you now that you're married to my ex-husband. I just left my kid at the front door of the apartment you both are living in now. I'd like for you to look over them while I'm gone, all right? I'm going to be late for my plane. I need to get going to the airport right now. What? Who even are you? Oh my, so you're going to respond to me like that now? I told you just who I am a few minutes ago. I happen to be your husband's ex-wife. Huh? My husband's, and you're his ex-wife? What are you talking about right now? Ooh, perhaps he's really never even told you about me before? Well, that child I just dropped off by your front door, it's your husband's. That's the child that he and I had with one another. And when he and I got divorced, I took custody of the child and have been raising them all this time. However, I just happened to get myself a new boyfriend. And right now, I'm on the way to Hawaii with that boyfriend of mine. So for the next month while I'm out of the state, I want you guys to take care of his kid. Hold on for just a moment. I don't even have a husband right now. What? And actually, what is this about you leaving a child at the front door of my apartment? I don't even have an apartment as I'm living with my parents and this place is a house. It's not even a place that you could even mistake for an apartment or a rental house at that. I believe that you must have the wrong number or something because none of your story is matching up with my life. Can you check the number you're texting one more time for me? But you're Lily, right? So that means you're the same woman that my ex-husband is married to. And that child I've left with you is my ex-husband's child, your current husband's. So since you're his wife now, you get to watch over the kid for 1 month or so until I'm back home. Understand? But here's the thing, I don't have anyone I call my husband right now. Oh, is that right? From what I've heard, you're not even able to make a baby, right? Huh? I'm sure that you're super jealous of the fact that I've had a baby with your husband, but there's no helping that, now is there? Well, I'll let you have a month to experience just what it's like to have to care for and raise a kid of your own. Have fun now. Wait, I haven't even seen any child around this house whatsoever. Shut the hell up and just take care of my kid. You have 1 month to love that child for me until I'm back home. Now I'm going to be blocking you and your husband's phone numbers. Hold on for just 1 second, please. See you later. I literally have zero clue what you've been talking about this whole time. What the hell is going on here? Angela? I think that I've just been wrapped into something really strange and have no idea what to do about it. What's going on with you then? Well, I got this really odd text from someone I've never heard of before. And it has something to do with this person dropping off their kid at my parents' house? Well, actually, she said it was at my apartment door where she dropped her kid off, but I don't have an apartment right now, right? But she didn't believe me and said that I'm going to have to care for her kid now, but I don't even know where this kid is or what apartment they're at. Can you please give me some advice on what's going on here? Do you know who this strange woman might even be? Hold on a sec. My parents just called for me. Huh? All right then. Thank you for waiting, Lily. I'm sorry that I had to get up and leave right when we started to talk. Actually, something really crazy just happened here, and it's not good. What's happening with you all now? At the apartment that my older brother and his wife were living at, his ex-wife dropped off their 5-year-old daughter that he had with her and left. Huh? They just left that kid there? For the time being, he's going to bring his daughter back to his parents' house, and there they'll figure out what to do with her. But he's not even able to get a hold of his ex at all, and having to take on a kid who he was never given custody of is a real problem for him and his wife. So this is about Brennan's kid then, right? I never knew that he got remarried. Ah, that's right. He did a little while back, I think. And in your case, you used to be his girlfriend, so I wasn't really sure when the best timing was to tell you about him and his new wife. I'm sorry that I'm only getting around to telling you now after the fact that I told you about his problem. You don't have to be sorry about it. I've always known that Brennan has a lot of women in his life, and that he wanted to see other people. So we both broke up, agreeing it would be for the best for both of us in the long run. So you really don't need to worry about me when you talk about him, because I have no hard feelings. All right, thank you. But right now, we really don't have to talk about him and his current wife. What we need to talk about is his daughter and the fact that I think I'm wrapped into that situation for some reason. Wait, what? Well, look, I happened to get an odd text from this woman named Judith just a little bit ago. Judith, huh? That's the woman that used to be married to Brennan. I knew it had something to do with you guys. Well, right now, that Judith woman has me confused with whoever your brother is married to and thinks that I have to care for his daughter. She told me she left her child in front of my apartment door and that she'd be gone for 1 month with her boyfriend in Hawaii. And she told me that I'm the one that'll have to watch after her kid now. Are you kidding me? I have no idea why she ended up thinking my number happened to be Brennan's wife's number. I'm going to bring my brother over here now. All right. He's here. He's telling me that every 3 months he's been going out to see his daughter, but his ex-wife Judith comes along with them. And at one point she asked for him to remarry her, but Brennan was going out with you at the time and told her no. Actually, during that time I had a little peek at his phone while he was talking with someone. That was probably him talking to Judith about it. He doesn't seem to really hide a lot of his personal issues from others, and perhaps that's why you were able to notice something on his phone like that. So this all has to do with him and his ex's daughter, then? Right now, Brennan is saying sorry for having this all affect you in some way. Tell him that it's all right. By the way, do you think it's a good idea for me to screenshot everything Judith and I talked about and send those to you? I think that she was really trying to talk with Brennan's wife about this, so she should be made aware, right? I'm sorry, but could you please do that for us? Right now, none of us even talk with her anymore because we all cut ties to her, so you're our only way of seeing what's going on here. I see. I'll send you the screenshots right away. Thank you, Lily. That'll help us a lot. Lily, thank you for those screenshots. Right now, both my brother and his wife are very thankful for these. I just wanted to let you know that. I'm glad to hear that they're thankful for them. And so, we all plan on handling this issue on our side here, but it seems that now Judith has gone and blocked Brennan's number. And since he can't talk with her now, there's no way for him to tell Judith that you're not his wife and have no connection to any of this. That's very true. Then the next time I hear something from Judith, I'll send you a text and let you know what's going on with her. How's that sound? Perfect. I'd really like you to do that for us. All right then, leave that up to me then. I'm so very sorry that we have to keep relying on you for something you have no part in. Right now, my brother is trying to think of ways to get you out of all this, so just give him a little longer, and I'm sure he'll think of something. But for the time being, you'll just have to hang tight. No worries, Angela. I really hope that this all can be resolved very soon. Lily, this would be Judith, and I just happened to get back into town. Thank you so much for taking great care of my daughter for me. I told you already, I have never been married to anyone and have no recollection of anyone ever being my husband before. Yeah, whatever. And about all that, since you already have her in your care, I'd like to leave my daughter with you forever now. While I was in Hawaii with my boyfriend, he went ahead and proposed to me. And when it comes to my now fiancé, he is a man of great wealth and would have what many call a proper physique. And since he's so good, I don't really want my daughter getting in the way of us anymore. So you can go ahead and keep her for me. She's not my problem anymore. You already happen to have problems making babies, so think of this as a heartwarming present from me. So please, take her away from me and keep her as your own now. So what you're saying is that you're giving the rights to your daughter to Brennan? And since your daughter is already in the care of both him and his wife, you won't have any complaints about that, right? That's a good point. Well, I'd much rather he have full custody of her now, as that leaves no way of me being responsible for her. Go ahead and tell him that's totally fine with me. Sounds good. Then in the next few days, I'm going to assume you'll most likely get a call from his lawyer that he'll be working with, and I'd like you to answer to them. Will do. And one last time, I'd like to tell you this. I am not Brennan's wife and have never been. You're still going to go on about that? I happen to be Brennan's ex-girlfriend, and the two of us broke up over a year and a half ago. What? And then after breaking up with me, he happened to marry another woman. So as of right now, that's what I know about his situation. I just wanted to let you know that your daughter has been fed and housed by them for the last month, and that they will be taking her in for good now. You really cannot give that crap up, can you? Always gotta try and make me believe something as ridiculous as that now. I've already said that you're keeping my daughter now, so you can shut up about all that. Bye now. Lily? I am not letting you guys have my daughter anymore. Give her back to me right now. I've already heard from those two that all the paperwork has been completed and that she's now their daughter. That guy that proposed to me before happens to be no good. And he told me things are off now because he found out I had a kid. And so he's gone and left me for dead now. What? You kept the fact that you have a daughter a secret from that man? Well, I had no other choice, all right? It's way too difficult for younger men to want to be with women like me who have a kid already with someone else, right? Well, I'm not really going to comment on that one, but come on, Judith. You can't just hide the fact that you have a child from your boyfriend like that, thinking he'd be okay marrying later when he finds out. I don't need that crap from you right now. I just want my baby back, so hurry up and hand her over to me. If you don't, I am no longer going to get any kind of money from Brennan as child support for her. I see. So that's why you ended up giving full custody of your guys' daughter back when you both divorced. It was all about that money from him. And it wasn't even like there was something wrong with Brennan anyway that made the court choose to give you full custody. I heard that you happened to have been cheating on him at the time, and when he asked for a divorce, you made up this whole story so that you could get your daughter from him. And it wasn't even about her. Who the hell cares about the past? Right now, all we need to be focused on is the fact that I don't want you guys to have her anymore. I'm her real mother, and I don't approve of this anymore, so give her back now. You're wasting your time telling me that. Me telling you all this will make things go a lot quicker for me since you're his wife. My God, I have told you this too many times now. I do not have a husband. No husband. The woman that's married to Brennan right now is a completely different person from me. And I told you, you can give all of that crap up now. Give me my dang kid back. You're not mentally stable, are you? I'm blocking you now. Wait! Why are you blocking me? Because Judith never seemed to get a grasp of the situation I had been explaining to her, the lawyer that Brennan had been working with talked to her for the rest of us and gave her the same explanation. And when she had finally learned that she'd been talking to the wrong woman this whole time, her face turned bright red. And right as the lawyer told her that, she picked up her smartphone and completely wiped all the conversation we had and my contact off of it. After that, she was not able to get any more money from Brennan for her daughter, and instead, she had to start paying him. And because of this, she ran to his apartment and started to bang on his door while screaming for him to let her have her daughter back. And right as she was about to kick the door in, the new renter of that apartment opened it and looked her square in the eyes. Apparently, Brennan and his wife moved back into his parents' house, now that they both have a kid to take care of. With Judith no longer having her rich boyfriend with her, and with her not receiving child support anymore, she had to start working a job. But she was fired from that job not even a week after getting it for some reason. And that left her with a life where every day she has to be worried about where her next meal will be coming from.